to my vlog, Finding Self-Love in Your 20s. It is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here, and I'm going to try my hardest to get this video up next week. So wherever you are, whatever day it is that you're watching this, I hope that you are feeling fabulous. Okay, so I wanted to do a vlog on my journey from tracking macros to intuitive eating to trying to track macros again and pretty much failing at it. Okay, so when I joined Instagram a few years ago, one of the first things I ever learned about was if it fits your macros. Basically, counting your carbs, your fats, and your protein to try and hit a certain caloric intake each day. So I ended up tracking macros for probably about a year and a half. I did it through my entire bulk, my prep, and coming out of my fitness competition that I did in 2015. After my competition, I really realized how much that macros had kind of turned into an obsession for me. I was so trapped on my phone for hours each day trying to hit a number, and if I went over by like 5 grams of carbs or 5 grams of protein, I would freak out in my head. And so when I started my self-love journey at the end of 2015, I knew that I had to quit cutting macros cold turkey and start intuitive eating. So I did. And I can't explain the amount of freedom that I felt with intuitive eating. But the problem that I ran into is I was almost under eating. I wasn't eating like too little per se, but I was still like kind of keeping track of a number of calories in my head each day. And I would still find myself kind of obsessing if I went over that number. And I knew that I still wasn't completely listening to my body, and that on some days I probably was eating too little for how active I truly am. So earlier this year, I went and I saw a reproductive endocrinologist. That's someone who specializes in fertility. I've kind of told you guys this before, but last year I was diagnosed with low thyroid. And ever since then, I've been battling with my hormones being out of whack, and I also haven't had a menstrual cycle since last May. So when I went and saw this reproductive endocrinologist earlier this year, she informed me that the reason my body has never had a period is because I've never given it a reason to. Meaning that I have constantly, been trying to like almost diet in a way since my eating disorder and then my competition. And then since after my competition, I have just like never truly let my body, intake the amount of calories that it truly needs. And my body has kind of constantly just been in a fight or flight mode, and it's not had a reason to have hormones and just get back to a normal hormonal balance. So she said the only way that I am ever going to get my period back is if I just truly listen to my body and I eat the proper amount of calories and I say to the scale. So after that appointment, I thought, okay, I'm going to try and track macros again, but this time do it differently. I'm going to reverse diet. So basically, I would track my macros, but I would add in more food slowly each week, just to get my body used to it and build up my metabolism again. So literally 3 weeks into my reverse diet, I was obsessing over food again. I was having binge eating thoughts. I was spending time on my phone trying to plan out what I was going to eat for dinner. I was getting mad at myself if I went over my macros. And it just made me feel like I had kind of lost control of my life again, my food freedom that I had worked so hard for. So I thought, heck no, I don't care that even if I am allowing myself to eat more food, this is not worth my mental state. So again, I'm done counting macros. I am completely back to intuitive eating, but with a completely different mindset. I know that I have seen a specialist. I know what I need to do to gain my health back, to get my hormones back to normal, to get my period back, because I'm going to get it back. You watch. So basically I've been, back to intuitive eating now for a few months, and it has been just such a sigh of relief. I never want to give up my mental health and my nights out with my friends ever again. So I'm going to kind of share with you guys 3 tips that I have incorporated again into intuitive eating and forever, ever, never counting macros again. The first tip is, you see this friend here, MyFitnessPal, right there. Yeah. So basically, you delete that shit. I really only re-downloaded it for you guys so I could do this. Yep, delete. Delete for life. Okay. The second tip is this. You know our lovely friend here, the scale? This piece of shit that tries to dictate our worth? You do this. You jump on it and you say, I am more than a fucking number. Okay. Pardon the French, I said the F word way too much there, but it's okay. So yeah, you just kick that shit. It's not worth you. It's not worth you. You are more than a number. Any number of calories, any number on the scale, any number that tries to dictate your self-worth. Okay, sorry. So I know that, those tips are kind of probably something you hopefully have already thought about before, but, my main thing is be gentle with yourself. Take it slow. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. Hell, I'm still struggling with it nearly 2 years later. But just be mindful. And, the days that you're truly struggling with food, remind yourself that food is fuel and you eat to feel good. And it's okay to have food that you crave. And that no calorie is ever going to dictate who you are as a human being. So, I will keep you guys updated on my journey of intuitive eating, but I can't express to you the amount of freedom that you feel when you finally just listen to your body. Come here. I thought I'd let you guys see Ace. So that's all for now, beauties. Me and Ace say have a lovely, lovely day.